Women, we need to stop staying small. The earth needs our medicine now more than ever, and the only way that humanity can receive the gifts, the intuitive magic, the creative power that we hold as women, if we come out of the shadows and we truly step into our full creative expression. And I know it can feel so hard when our whole entire life we've been told, we've been conditioned to not take up space, to not be too bright, to not be too loud. But really, we are in these bodies that hold the most powerful creative portal of any being on this planet. And so it is our innate right, it is our birthright to step into the power that we hold. And so in this video today, I'm going to share with you first how this power came to be stolen, it came to be silenced, but then also how we can walk this path of the creative, enlivened, empowered woman. Blessings, friends. Welcome. If you're new here, I'm Sandler. I'm a creative herbalist, plant person, and a wild witchy woman. And I'm so excited to talk to you today, and welcome to day 5 of our beautiful devotional challenge, our 19 days of creative devotion inspired by Goddess Bridget, inspired by really this call to reconnect to our creativity as artists, as people walking this maybe alternative, eccentric path of creation, but also as women. And so this video today is for my artists out there, but it is also just for all women. Every single woman is invited to watch this video, and if you're not a woman, you can still stick around because you might resonate and feel that inspiration flowing through. But either way, let's light our candle. This is a little red taper. We're changing it up today. Today is actually, I'm filming this on In Bulk on February 1st. So in honor of this time of Goddess Bridget, of the flame, and of the quickening of this portal in time, I wanted to change up our candle and bring in that red fiery energy. Okay. Woo! Day 5, the energy of change, of transformation. Calling it in. Okay, this is a big one, and I've just been hearing this phrase over and over the last few days. A creative woman is a dangerous woman. A creative woman is a dangerous woman. And what is she a danger to? Okay, I know that this video is so significant to share because I keep getting interrupted. It's too powerful. Essentially, for thousands of years, many societies, many cultures on earth worshipped the goddess and the many forms of her, and women were really held at the center of the culture. I feel like we have been so conditioned, at least for me, like in school, I was always learning about these very patriarchal civilizations, about, history in the lens of his story, even the word magic in that word. And so it can be so powerful on this path of remembering our creative power as women to really look at the ancient history and look at how, all these civilizations that were so much more connected to the land, to the animals, to the cycles of the earth, how they worshipped the goddess and the literal portal of life that women have within them, and the ability to bring through a living being, right? Like how magic, how potent is that we can do that? There's some incredible books that I'll share below that will begin to open your eyes to the idea that we have been conditioned away from knowing. Let me make that clear. I didn't come to understand this until actually connecting to my friend, my beloved sister, who really holds the medicine of the goddess and of the ancient ways very strongly, and she is a word witch. So yeah, I'm gonna link her Substack below as well, because basically all these books I found through her, and this remembrance of how we've lived for thousands of years on this earth. For many of us, we hold this ancient flame of remembering the goddess. Okay, got interrupted again, so this video definitely needs to be shared. So yeah, how can we start to reclaim this creative power within us as women of the earth? First of all, what we need to do is really cultivate a deep relationship with our womb. And if you haven't seen my video about reclaiming your bleed and your womb cycle, definitely watch that one. But I feel like the biggest thing we need to remember is that so much of our outer reality, so much of, you know, the people that aren't connected in with their wombs, people who are brainwashed, whatever, people who are not on this like intuitive wave, who are not tapped in as tapped in to kind of the ancient rhythms of the earth and the cycles, they will not understand a lot of the time the intuitive power that you hold and the wisdom that comes through. Like, it's not going to resonate with them. And so it's so important for us to root in to the deep knowing and the truth that we hold as women, because our intuitive power is our creative power. And that's like why those two centers, you know, our sacral center, our womb space is connected to both. And so in order to reclaim our creative power, we have to connect to our intuition and our intuitive power. And a lot of the times, like I said, because of the outside world, we have questioned it so much and we have received so many whispers and messages, but that part of us that's brainwashed, or the people in our outer world, have really silenced that part of us. You know, we've been taught that that part isn't logical, that that part doesn't make sense, that that part, you know, doesn't deserve to be heard because it doesn't fit in with this system, with this society that we live in. Because a lot of times that womb space, that knowing, is not going to look linear, and it's not going to look like, it's not going to fit in a nice little box. And, you know, a lot of times you'll receive messages from that space, either, you know, when you're in this liminal realm of, you know, your dreams or meditation or movement, dance, drum, song, time in nature. Like, when you're in those spaces, your womb will begin to feel safe to open and reveal to you, but it's going to be a whisper again. Like, it does not speak as loudly as those thoughts of those, you know, brainwashed thoughts in your mind. Those are going to be way louder, like the fear and the insecurity. And also, if we've been strengthening it, you know, our whole life listening to those thoughts, and we've been rejecting and suppressing the feelings and the knowings from our womb, then it's going to be a lot louder up here. And so I think beginning to reclaim our creative power means beginning to reclaim our innate intuition as women. Every single woman is profoundly intuitive if we allow ourselves to deepen that connection and to actually hear the song of wisdom, of intuition, of knowing within our womb. And also, you know, they say the womb is deeply connected to the voice, to the throat center. The throat center and the sacral center are this channel. And so as you, not again, little Odin. So as you continue to deepen your trust and your listening skills to your womb space, you will begin to clear this channel that goes in between, and you will begin to be able to express it more fully. Also connecting to your clairs, you know, that is a very liminal, nonsensical way. I don't know if I've shared in other videos, but, you know, you have clairvoyance, you might receive images. Clairaudience, you could hear, you know, a song in your head, or just hear certain phrases. You might have a feeling or a knowing. Like, there's different ways that our intuition speaks to us that isn't going to be as clear as like a direct thought or action that we're maybe used to from the voice of fear. And so as we begin to cultivate like this clear channel between the throat and the womb, then we can really step more fully into our expression, because that is so important. And those very first steps is beginning to give yourself permission to express yourself, just like your physical vessel of how you dress, how you do your makeup, your hair, your jewelry, like these beautiful Venetian ways that as women we get to really express our femininity and our truth and our personality and identity through what we wear. And I mean, everyone does, of course, but I feel like as women, sometimes we want to be so bright and our outfits are so outrageous, and It's so beautiful, but I think we're often sold this idea that we have to not draw attention to ourselves. We have to be small in the way that we dress so that we won't elicit any danger outside of us, you know, that we won't attract the attention of the wrong person. Amazing person to, you know, read her books and listen to her podcasts is Florence Given, and her book Women Living Deliciously, I feel like is such a valuable resource for us women who are remembering what it means to live a vibrant and vivacious and delicious life, taking up space, you know, and being colorful, being bold. And it's a practice, right? It's gonna probably make you feel nervous at first. Maybe it's gonna be so uncomfortable, but then you will begin to just, you know, you'll strengthen that channel and it will feel so natural, and you'll feel like yourself when you are expressing your fullness in all the ways, in the way you look, and then also the way that you speak. Like, you might even notice that your voice will start to drop lower, like it's dropping into the womb. And, you know, also you can do practices like that of connecting in with these primal sounds, of doing somatic, you know, breath work and practices, and really just like activating the voice in this way where it's embracing like the primal sounds of woman, the primal sounds of your womb, and all that may live there. Because I think as we, you know, cultivate this connection to the channel, we're also going to begin like clearing it out, right? Because there's so much in our womb, especially so much ancestral stuff, like the pain and the trauma and the memories of all the women in our lineage and beyond, you know, all the men too, but like especially in the womb, it has such a profound connection. Like the egg, the classic one that like went viral for a while, the egg. You were an egg in your grandmother when she, I don't even know how it goes, but basically our wombs are so deeply connected to all the women in our lineage. And so we also hold that ancestral memory within us, and we're here to heal it. We're here to move it through, and we're here to express it. And for you, you might also have had traumatic experiences or memories of your life that you still hold in there as well. So I really do feel that a really great way to heal that is through expression, is through feeling it and letting it be released. The last step that I have for you today to really begin to reclaim this creative power within you is like, as you build that connection, as you clear that channel, as you express more, start to follow those little whispers, those little seeds of ideas and inspiration and, you know, knowings of what you're meant to do on your path. Start to actually take action on them in whatever tiny way that might be. And at first it might be in a way of like, oh, I really need to change up the feng shui in my room. Like, I need to move things around. Like, you know, it's gonna start from the very beginning, like your creative process and the whispers. So it might not be as obvious as like, oh, you need to make this business, or you need to start this craft, or whatever it might be, you know? It might be the very beginning before the beginning, which is just orienting your life so that you are a vessel and you are a being who is able to hold the creation that wants to come through you. Once you begin to like give space to listen to those whispers and actually follow them, actually have the trust in those knowings and what is coming from your sacred portal of life, from your womb space, then you have really reclaimed a part of your power, because you are beginning to create a life that is yours, a life that is uniquely informed by your power as a woman. Okay, I feel like that is all I want to share in today's video. I would love to hear in the comments, like, what journey have you gone in reclaiming your intuitive, your creative power as a woman? You know, what has supported you in this journey? So if you resonate, I'd love for you to stick around, you know, to subscribe, to like, please connect in the comments. I read every single comment, so I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, until my next video, until tomorrow, have a beautiful, blessed day.